Hey, what's up guys, it's Nico and welcome back again to a brand new Super Mario Maker 2 video. Yes, it has been a while since we got creative with this, but just before we do that, let me tell you how I got creative with these. I had to gather some ingredients from the top of Mount Everest to the dark caves of an ancient civilization, but eventually I managed to have everything I truly needed and created this wonderful hoodie. So we finally have the official Team BBQ hoodie. It's fantastic looking. This hoodie features a brand new logo that was created by a good old friend of mine. So where I'm from, well, basically winter is coming, so it's getting quite cold outside and you can't just go out naked anymore. Sucks. And since it's a hoodie, well, you can do this and you can do that. I don't know why you would do this, but you can. And if gray is not your favorite color, well, it's also available in YouTube Red! Hey, it goes perfectly with my epic gamer glasses. So the hoodies are not gonna be there forever, okay? They're only gonna be there for 3 weeks in November. And after that, they're gonna be gone forever. Like, the hoodie actually ships worldwide, so no matter where you're from, you can get your hands on one of those. Alright, check out the link in the description, whatever. Let's go back to the video you've been waiting for. Let's go. I've noticed that the underwater course theme is not the most popular one, and it's a shame because it has a lot of potential. Hey, I'm Nico, and here are 10 creative ways to use the underwater course theme in Super Mario Maker 2. The main element that makes underwater stages different from everything else is being able to use the entire screen. Let me explain. In more traditional levels, you're mostly limited to where Mario can either run or jump on, but as soon as you put this plumber under the sea, this limit is completely gone. This allows you to use many elements to create timing puzzles that use the entire screen. For example, if you put some pipes with some enemies coming out of them, you'll be able to time those in a pattern that allows Mario to go through with his swimming ability going up and down. You could also use more traditional enemies, like the cannonballs or the bullet bills, and place them in a way that they force Mario to do some very precise swimming in between them all. The underwater course theme is perfect for timing-based puzzles. Pretty much anything that works on the ground also works underwater, and that is the case with rails. Combining those with enemies makes for the perfect escape level underwater. Think about it. Add a bunch of rails in a narrow path with some enemies on both sides of Mario, forcing him to swim quite fast to save himself. You can even add non-moving enemies on the way, or on-off switches that Mario has to hit if he wants to make it alive. Obviously, you can be a little bit more classic and simply add many enemies on rails, forcing Mario once again to get the proper timing to be able to swim to safety, but sometimes it's kinda cool to think outside of the box. One of the main reasons why underwater stages are not popular in my opinion is because of the way Mario swims. I mean, take my boy Donkey Kong for example. You can see he had swimming lessons as a kid for sure, because he's as good as a mermaid. But my boy Mario, well, he's having a little bit more trouble. In Super Mario Bros. 3, you can use the frog suit to swim perfectly, and in Mario Wii and U, the penguin suit kinda does the same thing, but there isn't any of those power-ups in Super Mario Maker 2. But one thing that this game has though are dry bones shells. You probably only think about using those to float on lava, but no, they're also perfectly suited for underwater stages. They allow you to have full control over where you dive and float. It is almost as if Mario was driving a submarine like he does in Super Mario Land. Combine this shell with a fire flower and you get quite the war machine. Trust me, it really makes underwater stages a whole lot more epic. So yeah, Mario is not the best swimmer in the world. To make Mario swim up, you need to press A, cause otherwise he just sinks down and dies. Yeah. So obviously, you'll be mashing the A button quite a lot during your underwater adventures. And if you're swimming around deadly spikes and hazards, you'll also be timing your A presses quite carefully to make sure to stay in between both spike lanes. but what if you put a claw underwater there? Well, if it catches you and you press A, well, you're done for! That's right, putting claws underwater with other hazards can result in some epic troll moments. And do not underestimate twisters in underwater stages, as they can also be quite the annoyance, pushing you around and against your will. Or what about seesaws? You never think of using those underwater, but they can also cause havoc. Even simple lift platforms moving up and down can be quite a challenge to dodge and force you to time your swims. What I'm getting at here is to use everything that you normally use in traditional levels and see what they can do in underwater stages. You'll be quite surprised at how effective some of those things can be to add a little challenge. Sometimes the simplest ideas are just the greatest. How about making a level where pushing A is the only thing you have to do? Simply use rails with blocks that push Mario and put some obstacles on the way, such as spikes, walls, or other blocks. The only way to live in those types of level is to push the A button with the correct timing, or else you'll get crushed, you hit an enemy, or so on. You can even recreate the iconic mobile game that broke the internet a couple of years ago, Flappy Birds. Think about it. Put more blocks or simply use a screen scroll to push Mario and add some pipes up and down where you want them to be, and there you go, that's Flappy Bird for ya. Poor man's Flappy Bird though. If we're discussing the underwater course theme, then we also have to talk about another theme that acts the same way. Take the castle theme and make it nighttime. And all of a sudden, well, you can swim in a flooded castle. If I say castle, you're probably thinking of lava bubbles, fire poles, Bowser spitting his evil fireballs, but you never think about underwater levels. And the thing is, you should, because having a flooded castle full of lava and flaming hot cheap cheeps is truly insane. It really changes the dynamic of a castle. You still have to dodge lava and fire enemies, but now you can actually use the entire screen to do so. And obviously, you have to finish this castle with a classic Bowser fight, or else it's not gonna be complete. Puzzles that want you to grab enemies are very common in non-underwater stages, but there's also a great way of having epic puzzles while swimming underwater. The feather cape from Super Mario World is just perfect to use with a spiny shell. If you make it super big, then Mario won't be able to simply grab it, so you'll be forced to spin attack to move it out of the way. And there are many ways to combine this new idea, such as moving the obstacle out of the way or placing the shell where you want it to be in order to kick it and break walls. You can also use it to defeat annoying enemies or bosses and so on, even the Mad Lad himself. And if Super Mario World ain't your cup of tea, then you can do the same thing with a good old Super Leaf in the Super Mario Bros. 3 theme. So I've mentioned quite a while how Mario isn't the best at swimming underwater, but it turns out he can actually be quite good at swimming if he's holding onto something, like a spring, a Koopa shell, or even a P-switch, and this makes for a great fast-paced underwater stage where time is limited and you have to swim super fast and precisely in between enemies and obstacles. And if you decide to go with the P-switch as your swimming tool of choice, you can even add some blocks around the end of the level, forcing Mario to hit it in order to clear it, removing any opportunities to cheese the level. Because if people are anything like I am, if a level can be cheesed, then I will cheese it. The underwater theme can be set to nighttime, and all of a sudden, you'll be swimming in the deep sea, where everything is dark and spoopy. And this is another great way of using this theme. Super Mario World had this sunken ship level that was a ghost house level that took place underwater, and it was sick. Well, now you can expand on this idea and make your very own deep sea exploration scary level. With many things that can provide light, such as super balls, fire flowers, coins, and more, now is the perfect time to create an exploration level taking place under the sea. And don't forget to add some secret areas as well. So during the research for this video, I stumbled across a very interesting level that used the underwater theme to create a bullet hell type of level. If you're not familiar with that, bullet hell is a type of game where you usually control a single character and your goal is to defeat enemies while dodging tons of bullets coming from all over the place. Maybe you've played one of those like Ikaruga or Toho. Well, this level managed to recreate this type of game really well. First off, you are limited to a small screen to move around, and you have to dodge all sorts of enemies falling down, as well as enemies like spinies that throw deadly spikes or plants that spit some evil fireballs. While this is a very advanced level to create, you can make a simpler one by just forcing Mario to swim around in a tiny room while placing rails out of the screen with many different enemies. There's going to be lots of trials and errors to get the timing right, but it will make for a great level, trust me. Thanks a lot for watching this video, my dudes. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe and to hit the bell to know when I post a new video, and give this video a like if you want to help me out. Quick reminder that the hoodies are only gonna be there for 3 weeks in November, so quickly get yours if you want them for the holiday season. Tap the cards on screen for that, and also to watch more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.